What's going on, everybody? This is AJ Capasso here from Coventry Circle Paranormal and your host with Talking with the Source. And I'm here with my goofy friend laughing at me right now, probably because of what I think so. But go ahead. Tell me what you're laughing at, Robin.
I'm waiting for that countdown for her to go, "We have liftoff."
Yeah, right? That's serious. That is a funny intro, but I like it, though. It's a little creepy when you actually watch it. But when you hear just the sound, it's got to be weird as hell to hear that.
It's just that the countdown actually sounds like when you're listening. When I was in Florida, they were launching a rocket to the International Space Station, and we actually went to Cape Canaveral to watch it. And it's like a countdown. We have liftoff.
You know, it's funny, man, because you're from the UK, so you're not used to that kind of stuff. But let me tell you,
Oh, that was an experience of a lifetime watching it go off.
it had to be, not being from, the USA and stuff. That had to be pretty
Yeah.
awesome. But all right, guys. Well, listen, I want to first just give a quick shout out to our good friend over here at Relatively Paranormal. He's joining us right now. I'm not sure if Marissa is, but our co-host here, one of a kind.
What's up, guys?
Yeah, what's up, my brother?
Listen, you're getting me all messed up because now you're talking about like solid state fuel, jet fuel that we should have stopped using in the 1950s because the American government's got anti-gravitics. Don't make me go down that path, bro.
Oh, get out of here. All this political stuff. All right. Well, listen, before we begin, I just want to give a quick shout out. We are live right now on Paralanks Plus. We just want to give a shout out to everybody at Paralanks. Thank you so much for giving us this opportunity. We want to also thank our friend Bryan Laverty of Hunophobia Canada. And we want to thank him because he was the one to facilitate this all. So Bryan Laverty of Hunophobia Canada, he has right now he's on Paraflix at Hunophobia Canada. Go check him out. They're on season 3. Amazing show. So go check him out. He's also the founder of Parapost, which we are live right now on Parapost as well. If you don't know Parapost, home of the paranormal podcast, live investigations, live tarot readings, mediumship readings, the whole 9 yards. But we're happy to be here, guys, right? So
absolutely.
Let's get our great guest on today. We have
the V-Team Paranormal as well.
What was that?
The V-Team Paranormal are happy to be here and all.
Oh, hey, what's up, V-Team? Thank you so much for watching. Right now, we have an amazing guest. We have Healer.Empath.Sensitive.Spiritual psychic medium, Alan Wright.
Oh, shit.
Right up. Hold on one sec. Alan, what's going on, my friend?
Alan.
I'm just watching you guys having a lot of fun.
It. Hey, we wanted to. I just wanted to let you know before I ask my first question, don't get freaked out if you go full screen. I always forget to tell our guests that before we go live, and I figured I'd let you know just so you don't stop. Oh, wait a minute, why am I full screen? Thank you so much. But anyway, Al, let me know how did you get into this field? What happened? Like, what caused you to get into the paranormal? Like, really in depth with it.
Well, I was born with these abilities. As a kid, I thought I was normal, But when I went to school, I found out I wasn't normal. I was seeing ghosts. I had communication with spirits and stuff. And I found out when I was in first grade, or, when I first started school, that I was the only one doing that. So it kind of freaked me out.
Bitch.
And I had to keep it behind me. I had to keep it secret. And so I went through my whole grade school, high school, and even when I got employed, I was in management, and I couldn't really go around telling about spirits and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so it wasn't really until I retired that I was able to fully come out. But it was when in 1982 when my grandfather died, and I was really close to my grandfather. He was a very special person to me. He was more of a father figure to me than my own father was. We had a lot of fun. We went fishing together. He showed me how to he showed me how to develop fish, for instance, and it's just stuff like that.
Yeah,
And
and I can totally relate. My grandfather and grandmother grew me up. My grandfather took the role of being a dad for me, for my dad. So I totally understand everything you're saying right now. So your
yeah.
experience happened as you were a kid when you were around that age with him as being the first one, or?
Well, after he died, I kept going with life, living life. But in 1983, I went to bed one night. When I went to bed, a vision opened up to me, and at first I thought it was a dream. After I got up, and the next day it was like a dream. I thought, but it wasn't. It was not a vision. It wasn't a near-death experience because I wasn't near death, and it wasn't an out-of-body experience because usually you don't go to other places in another out-of-body experience. And the only thing that fit my thing was astral projections. The only thing I could think of. Yes.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead, Alan. We're just waving.
You were holding up your finger.
Yeah, so we're just waving at people.
No. I multitask because Robin doesn't know how to work the whole thing yet. So I have to.
I do.
Don't mind me, Alan. Don't mind me. No, I appreciate it. Keep going because this is very interesting.
So anyway, in this astral projection, in this vision that I had, I went to bed and zap, I was right there. And I was up in a corner of a hospital room. I knew it was a hospital because the nurses, doctors were wearing white and so on. And anyway, this one doctor and this one nurse was standing by a gurney in this hospital room, or a bed, if you want to call it that. And they were talking about the body that was laying on the bed there. And I looked down, and it was my body. That's kind of weird when you look down and there's your body there. Then
Yes.
you know that you're dead. No other word for it.
No.
So anyway, as I was contemplating things there, I started moving, and I moved up through the ceiling in the room and up through the roof of the building of the hospital. Yep. And as I was moving up, I was gaining speed, and I could see the lights. It was by a baseball field,
Yeah.
I could see the lights on this field, and it was really pretty. The only thing that beautiful.
Yeah.
And as I was thinking that, I kept going up and up, and all of a sudden I was above the city, and I could see all the city lights and everything. Ooh. And then I kept moving up, and I was gaining speed. I was going faster and faster. And I looked down, and I could see the earth. And the earth, it's beautiful up there. And it's, it's blue, and it's just beautiful. Anyway, I thought, what a beautiful thing, the earth is from up here. And then I got thinking, what a ugly place it is down there, actually, with the wars and the murders and the rapes and how mankind is treating the earth and each other, It's actually awful ugly down here on the earth. Oh, absolutely. And as I was thinking this voice came to me right straight through my head, like he was sitting beside me. And it was a male's voice. And it said, "The earth is fulfilling the purpose for which it was created." And I thought, if you stop and think about it, there's a lot of information in that little sentence.
Oh, 100%.
For one thing, the earth was created. And for another thing, the earth was basically created for us because it's fulfilling that purpose. And that purpose was us for whatever reason.
Yeah.
So anyway, I kept going up and kept going faster. And then I started thinking about myself. I must. Was born a Christian with my family, and they're Christians, you know. Went to church all the time and everything. And you know, I was wondering where I was gonna go, either heaven or hell. You know, yeah. I fell away from the church when I was a teenager, and I kind of wasn't too proud of the things I did after that. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
and we all have histories, I think, at one time or another. But anyway, as I was thinking that, that voice came back to me, and it said, because of the things you did, because of the choices you made, uh, is the reason why you're here where you're at today or at this time.
Yeah, yeah.
And I thought, so I'm going up, so it must be a pretty good place, you know. So
Hey, yeah.
I didn't give them, but as I kept going up faster and faster, I started thinking about my family. What were they going to do with me gone and nobody to support them and stuff like this? And that voice came back immediately and said, because of the things you did and the choices you made, they have to do the same thing. They have to make choices and do the same things you did so that they too can be in a place.
Oh, shit. Sorry,
And
guys, about that. I accidentally pressed the wrong button on the screen. Keep going, because I want to say something about what you're saying right now. Keep going.
okay. Well, after that little bit of information, I started contemplating, and I kind of got the feeling like Earth is like a test. It tests us as to how how good our spirits are, how good are we as people, as you know.
Yep, absolutely.
And being born and being in this body and going through the things that we go through and making right choices, making bad choices, it kind of gives us, if we make bad choices, then decide not to do it again or whatever, it kind of puts us on the good side of the line, you know. And I kind of had a feeling that the Earth was a test for us. I also got a feeling that if you live your life a good life, then you don't have much to worry about. So did you have a question, did you say?
No, what I actually wanted to say to what you're saying is it's amazing that you remember thinking all this and doing all this in this moment, because when I had my near-death experience, I didn't have any time to think about anything besides two things. And I think maybe it's because I shunned mine away, whereas you accepted yours. Mine, I didn't, and I shunned mine away for a long time. So mine's not obviously as, like detailed of me remembering as you remembering your experience, but it's so amazing because I can't, now that I think back to mine, like I can't think of ever having that thought, like, what about my family,
Yeah.
So, like,
I've got a question for you.
Yeah, go
What's
ahead.
that?
AJ, I'm going to open a can of worms here, but I have to ask.
Uh-oh.
when you were rising up and you said you seen the Earth and it was beautiful, was it round or was it flat?
Oh, come on, bro.
Oh my
Come
God.
on.
It looks like a marble up there.
There you are.
The oceans
Who said it was
and
flat?
the clouds
said it was
around
flat?
the Earth. It's
Come
round.
on, bro.
Definitely
You're a
round.
smarter guy
Yeah,
than that. That's silly.
The thing is, especially over here in the UK, there's a lot of people that we call them flat earthers.
Oh, we
They
Yeah.
have.
actually
Same
believe
over
that the
here.
Earth
Yeah.
flat.
We have. All right,
Come on, you're a smarter guy than that, bro. Come on.
I'm
Come
not
on,
a
man.
flat earther.
No.
I had proof showing me that.
No.
But anyway,
Celebrity
as
Square
I
number
was,
one. Celebrity
say
Square
what?
number one. I would say this looks like Celebrity Squares because we got remember that show back in the
It really
80s.
Yeah.
So I'm pointing at him on number one up here.
Yeah,
It sounds
number
to
one.
me like
I have to
it
go
sounds to
sideways
me
on it.
it sounds to me. If I can just ask a question, well, if you ask a question to make a point, it sounds to me like what you were talking about is more like like motivations. Like when you're alive, anybody can pretend to do good things, but what are your motivations behind those good
Exactly.
things? Like
Yeah.
my wife and I go around and we do a lot of house cases and we help out a lot of people, and our motivations are to help because we lived through a bad haunting, could never find help, and want to be able to provide help now that we have, all these years of doing this and researching this. But time and time again, and it recently happened last week, we go to people's houses and they either want like Ghost Adventures live on stage in their house and they want to watch us do it. Okay, because we give strict instructions. I tell people, listen, I'm coming there to help you. I'm putting myself in danger. It beats the hell out of both of us. It does, physically, mentally, spiritually. It takes a lot to go fight these negative entities. And listen, we need one of you. If it's a couple, great, two of you, you need to sit in the back and be quiet. If you're talking, moving, if you have other people, dogs, cats with a bell, any of that, and it's all junk, I can't help you. Because if I don't know what's an EVP, what's a noise, what's this, how can I tell it? It compromises everything. And we went this investigation the other day, and I told the people that they had like 30-year-old kids, oh, make sure that they're either not home or whatever. These kids have cars and everything. They all pile in like the Brady Bunch. And they're all like, can I ask a question? Can I ask a question? Listen, if it wasn't for God, I may have killed someone because I was so angry because I'm here to help you.
Yeah.
And you just wasted my time basically. And now I can't help you. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, with me, being a
So what do you-
medium, I have to be in a certain frame of mind. And
No,
I
yeah.
call it being in spirit, And when you're in spirit, you do a reading. With me, I'm talking to spirits, they're talking to me. And it's energy. That's all it is. It's energy. My energy and the spirit's energy. And after a reading, after I read for an hour or so, it takes a lot out of me. I get tired. And it stays with me for a while after the reading's over with too. So, I know where you're coming from. You can't go into a place in one frame of mind to prepare for something, and then you have a bunch of kids and dogs and cats and people screaming at you and wanting to know this and that and the other. It kind of throws you off your game,
If I didn't set the expectations ahead of time, that's one thing. But the expectations have been set for me to help you. I need you to do these things for me so that I can actually help you. If I can't tell what's what, just take it, the hours I spent and just throw it away. 9 cameras, 3 voice recorders, all this stuff is worth nothing to me. I don't like hoaxing. I'm dead serious about this. I went through a bad experience with it. I love helping people. I don't mind engaging in spiritual warfare. I work with a Catholic priest if necessary, all this stuff. But to me, it's almost disrespectful for me to come there and I have an 8-year-old daughter. Do you think I want to bring home a demonic entity to torture her, to try to rape her or something crazy? These things happen. Okay. Yeah. So when I'm putting myself at risk like this, and then you disrespect me by not doing the couple requests that I have from now on, I tell you what, I'm packing up and I'm leaving, bro. And that's going to be, I'm not doing it anymore. I can't, it's upsetting.
I mean,
with me, I help spirits and I help people. Sometimes people. Go ahead.
It just comes down to the motivations you were talking about,
over here. So my apology. What I wanted to ask was, Alan, what are some of your boundaries that you have with people that, like what are your, not restrictions, but like how Todd said, like certain ways that he would like the environment. How do you like your environment? Is there any boundaries?
Well, like I said, speaking with the spirit, you have to be in spirit. And I have to prepare myself for that reading, A lot of times the boundaries are for me is I cannot read somebody that's intoxicated or totally spaced out on drugs. Yeah. I can't read for somebody that is mocking me or whatever, because what it does, when they do that, they're like you said, showing not only disrespect for me, but for the spirit that I'm trying to contact. So those are some of the boundaries, and most of the time you realize some other boundaries that you haven't thought of once you get with the people and start, doing your reading or whatever.
Yeah.
When you do a reading, I ask them if they have any questions, but I would like to be the one to run the reading. When I'm doing the reading, I hate to be interrupted, because that's spirit talking to me. You're actually interrupting the spirit. And, if you show them disrespect, they're just going to leave, poof, they're gone. And so that's another thing too. So, yeah, I got a few boundaries. I don't use swear words when I read, cuss or swear. Basically, I never had a spirit use them with me, So I don't use it. I don't use it with spirit.
Of course, of course.
I respect the spirits because at one time they used to be like us. They had their own bodies, and now they don't have them.
Yep.
And they're in a place now. A lot of times they're earthbound. A lot of times they're on like I like to say, the lower level of heaven. The spirits can go down levels, but they can't go up levels. They can't go up levels until they learn the laws and ordinances of the universe.
I love the way you. I love the way you just described that. That they can't go.
Yeah.
They can only go up. They can only go down. They can't wait. What'd you say? Say it again. I mixed it up. Say it again for me.
Spirits can only go down from their level. They can't go up above their level.
Thank you. That's such an analogy.
Now, if they're at the highest level of heaven, they can go down to any level they want to be and visit or whatever, or help. They're still helping these spirits. On the highest level, they're helping spirits that's below them. The purpose of this is at some point we all get to be at that higher level. But when you're a spirit, it's harder to do that. It's harder for them to learn that. The place for them to do that is here on Earth. When you're smoking, you want to quit smoking on Earth, you can do it. You can do it. But when you're a spirit, you still have you still want to smoke, but you don't have tobacco. You can sit there and light up, You still have the habit, but you don't have the means to satisfy that habit. Same way with alcohol and drugs. Same way. If you know you're going to die within, say, 6 months to a year, and you're an alcoholic, it might be best to try to get off alcohol before you leave. Because when you leave, you'll have that habit.
Yeah, it becomes like a health by not being able to quench that thirst, right?
Exactly. And it's harder for them to quit once they leave, once they're in spirit. Wow. So anyway, that's like I said, I've got hours and hours worth of information when I went on this astral projection.
Yeah, no, please go on to astral projection.
I want to actually ask you a question about that, Alan, because I can actually do that. But I find that I was a bit wary to do it to start with, because I was the first 2 times I did it, I had someone basically come and take me by the hand and take me and show me, places like years ago, and people walking about with carts and horses and stuff. But I was afraid of that person not bringing me back. How would I then get back? Yeah. But I've learned that obviously your guides and stuff like that and spirits are there for that. If someone takes you away somewhere like that and then leaves you, they'll bring you back. So I can do that. But I need to sit in a room where there is activity. If I sit with my head down and I close my eyes, I find that I can just go.
Yeah. What you experience is a form of reverse deja vu.
Okay.
I think that's what deja vu is. You go into a room, say like a big room, and it's a party, and you recognize the room, you recognize the people, and you think, I haven't been here before, but I know these people. I've seen them before. Well, that's deja vu. And I think, there's a lot of explanations for this, but it's where when you pre-existence. In the Bible, it says that, well, let's do it the scientific way. Scientists say that energy cannot be created and it cannot be, well, I'm not sure about the created part, but energy cannot be destroyed. It can only be in another form or whatever. Like electricity, you can turn it into lights for the houses and stuff.
Yeah.
Same way with your spirit. It's energy. And in the Bible, it says that this is life everlasting. Okay, if it's everlasting, there's no beginning, no end. So we came from someplace. That place that we came from was the pre-existence. And in the pre-existence, we are prepared to come to this earth to live our life and then, of course, leave it. This is only part of the journey. If people realize that fully, this would be a totally different place to live in. It really would.
100%. Hey, not to stop you real quick, but we just had a question from one of the viewers. Amber Thurman said, "Hello, how do I get a reading?" So I wanted to actually ask you that because I know our viewers are interested. So if you want to tell them a little bit about next week, we can. But if not, if you want to shout out something that you can, where they could find you to do that, that'd be awesome.
I don't know if my email address is on the posting you had on your website, but you can go to paperback writer 35 at yahoo.com. That's paperback writer 35 at yahoo.com, and just request a reading, and I can contact you and we can make the arrangements that way. You can also go to my telephone, which is 435-590-1573. No, 1573. And just text me. Yeah. My phone will not take phone calls unless you're in my contact list. So you can do it that way. Text me that you would like to have a reading. I charge $25. That's really cheap. Most mediums charge anywhere from $40, $50 to $100 for the readings. I charge $25, and it's an hour reading. Unless you never lived your life very interesting, you don't have any ancestors or whatever. But anyway.
You know what? We're going to take a quick break right now. We'll put up a couple videos and then we'll come back. So I know you wanted to take a break out in between. So let me take that break for you real quick and we'll be right back.
Okay.
All right.
People come and people go through high streets we know. Dark and light, day and night. No one knows what the future will bring.
everyone, welcome back. This is AJ Capasso here again with Talking with the Source. I'm here with my trusted old friend to my
Other side.
other side.
Loving paranormal and Talking with the Source.
And we are live with healer, empath, sensitive, psychic, or spiritual psychic medium, Alan Wright. Alan, thank you so much for joining us. We apologize that we kind of talk over each other sometimes, and I apologize about that. It lags a little bit on my side, so please, it's not on intention. Please don't think that. But thank you so much, Alan. We just got a message from a viewer. It's from Jerry Hart Holyfield. Says Alan is one of the best mediums I have had the pleasure of using. He's always right on track if you listen to his wisdom. I tell you what, he is not wrong there. You've had some amazing wisdom so far, Alan. One of the things that I wanted to do, actually, Robin, do you want to ask a quick question? Because I've been asking a lot of them. So unless you want me to keep going.
Oh, no, I just find that the whole thing absolutely amazing. But I'll tell you, actually, I will ask a question. And I want to ask Alan, what is, obviously, with your knowledge and what you've been through and stuff like that, and especially with what you were saying about your near-death experience, about rising up above the earth, what is your view on like extraterrestrials and UFOs?
We're gonna get to that in a minute.
Yeah, you're gonna get.
They're real. There are extraterrestrials. Yeah. We are. How can I put this? Let me go on with my story because this is part of it. Okay.
Okay, go ahead, Al.
Okay. I was above the earth. I received those voices, and I kept going faster and faster and faster. Pretty soon, I was. I could see all the planets basically, and the Earth stands out from all the other planets. It's almost like it doesn't belong there. And anyway, I kept moving faster and faster. And next thing I found, I was among the stars. And I never knew stars was different colors. There's yellow, reds, and blues, and they're all different colors. And from where I was, anyway, they were. And I started moving faster and faster, and the stars became streaks. And then the streaks turned into darkness, black. And this is when I became fearful because there was nothing. I could see nothing. I couldn't even see my hand in front of my face. It was almost like a near-death experience in that as I was going along, I felt like I was in a enclosure of some kind, almost like what they say that they're like in a tunnel or something like that. I almost felt the same way.
Yeah.
Anyway, as I was getting fearful, wondering what was going on, I saw a pinhole light up in front of me, a real small light. And that light kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And then it was really large. And I was going at a tremendous rate of speed. And then all of a sudden I started slowing down. And I went into this light. And this light is nothing but happiness. All the good feelings that you have.
It's like a pure love.
Yes, it is. Pure love and compassion,
serenity,
and charity. All these emotions is in this light. And it's different from the emotions that we have. We can say that we have love for somebody, but it's different. Totally different. This love goes right straight through your body. And it comes out the other side. And when it's done with you, you know you've been loved. It's totally different. It's hard to explain. But anyway, I was moving into this light, and I didn't want to leave that light. As far as I was concerned, I could just stay there forever and ever.
Yep.
But I kept moving, and all of a sudden I saw this person, and this person was like leaning up against a boulder or sitting on some kind of boulder or something. He was up in front of me, and he was, the only way to describe him was he was like what Jesus was portrayed to me as being. He had long hair, he had a beard, he had whiskers, beard, and he was dressed in a white robe, and he had sandals. And I was going to him, and I was excited because I had a lot of things I wanted to talk to him about.
Right.
But just before I got to him, oof, my memory went blank, and I couldn't remember when I got back to where I was at that what was done. The only thing I can think of was my memory was erased. I wasn't supposed to remember that. But what I did remember was I woke up in a meadow, where there was high grass and flowers. I was laying down, and I could hear water in the background, like a stream.
Yeah.
I could hear the insects. There was insects in the around the flowers and stuff. And I thought, well, I must be back on Earth, because that's what I thought. And as I went to get up, I stood up, and then I realized that I was in a circle of people. And these people used to be or were my ancestors. And they were close friends that had passed on before me. But the person I concentrated on was my grandfather, and he was standing right in front of me. And he started communicating with me telepathically. He didn't move his mouth, but his words went straight through my brain. And he was expressing his love for me. He was expressing, how he cared for me and different things. And I started to talk back, but I found out I didn't have to use, I felt like I could say something with my voice if I wanted to, but I didn't have to. I had the ability to talk the same way he did. And that's what I did. And I expressed my love for him also. And a lot of that, doing it that way, you get more, how can I put it, feeling in it. You can feel their emotions as you're talking that way. But anyway, the last thing I remember being there was him and I. There was a forest on the other side of this field, this meadow, and there was a path that separated the two. And I was walking with him on this dirt path, and him and I were walking side by side, and he was telling me things. Now, I do not know what he was telling me. I did not remember them. But when I woke up in the morning, I woke up in my bed the same time that I usually get up in the morning. But I woke up I felt like I was glowing. I felt like I was almost still there. And I felt that way for almost 2 weeks. And which was all right with me. I loved that feeling. But at the same time, I realized there was big chunks of my memory that was gone, that I couldn't remember. But as life went on, as it does, remember this was 1983 that I had this experience. And as I got older, my abilities became stronger for whatever reason. I don't know why, but they became stronger than what they were before 1983. And I started getting bits and pieces of information. It was like, I don't know, like a memory being restored to me. Yeah. And it was things that that I had remembered them telling me that I'd seen, that I had participated in, stuff like that. And I realized then that what I thought I was gone only 7 or 8 hours that night, I was gone probably maybe a year or 5 years, because there's no time there. They don't have time. And
No, right.
I could have been there 20 years. And during this period of time, for me, they educated me on bunches of stuff. They told me about things. For instance, they told me heaven was different levels, or if you want to call them dimensions. And there, I saw at least 9 dimensions or 9 levels of heaven.
Yeah.
And each level was better than the level below.
Of course.
And
Yeah.
my grandfather was on the lowest level of heaven, and that's where I met him. And if that's the lowest level of heaven, I would rather die and just be there if I couldn't be anyplace else, you know, because
Yeah, right.
everything was perfect there. There's no death, no sickness. Everything was perfect there. And but anyway, I was told that on these different levels of heaven, including the lowest level that my grandfather was on, that they teach you about the laws and ordinances of the universe. And there's
Oh,
bunches and bunches of them, I tell you. And but anyway, I saw, like I said, I saw 9. And I was also told that at the highest level of heaven, I think there's only 9. There could be more, but I think there's only 9. At the highest level of heaven is where God is at. Now, I got a different perception of God than what people have here on earth that says they're Christians. I got a feeling that this the God, he is a person, but he is extremely intelligent, and he's extremely powerful, and he has different devices in his control that he can use for different things.
yeah.
You know, in the Bible, in the book of, well, I think it's in the Gospels of Matthew, Mark, and John, I think. But when Jesus was being crucified on the cross, he was crucified between 2 criminals. And one criminal started mocking him, telling him if he be the Son of God, then take himself off the cross and take him with you, so that, you know, like he was proven that he was the Son of God. But the other criminal said, Master, remember me when you enter your kingdom today. And Jesus said to that other, to the one that told him, Master, remember me, he said, you will be with me today in paradise. And that paradise he was talking about, why didn't he say heaven? Because paradise is the lowest level of heaven. That's where my grandfather was. That's where I went. It is paradise. And that's the reason why he told that criminal that he would be in paradise.
Yeah.
So just by him believing in Jesus, that he was the Son of God, he was able, after he died, he went to paradise. So I just wanted to throw that in there.
Yeah.
Now, I know I went a little bit fast and furious, but I'm pretty much at the end of that trip now. But I began remembering things. I began things that, you know, that I wasn't taught in school and stuff. There are aliens, there are extraterrestrials. They are watching the earth and they're watching over us. Um, we are made after the ones that look like us because we look like him. We look like the guys that made us. We were all around at the creation of the world. Most of us participated in that creation of the world. I wasn't told, at least I don't remember yet, but as far as I know, I wasn't told exactly how the earth was created. I have a feeling it was almost brought in from someplace else and placed there where it was at. And we began seeding the earth with animals and with plant life and stuff like this. And they called it the creation, which really it was. But it was more of a mechanical type thing where we brought stuff in and it was being seeded. Now I say we because I was told that mankind basically helped in this seeding of the earth.
I tell you what, Alan, I totally agree with everything you're saying because when I had my near-death experience, certain things that happened there is a lot of synchronicities matching up to yours, to your story and what had happened to you during that experience. So I totally 100% agree with it. I want to get more in depth with this next week when we have you back on again. I want to let all the viewers know that next Thursday, same time, we're going to have Alan on again, and we're going to pick 3 viewers to have a free reading live on the show. So join us next week on Thursday, same time, 2 p.m. Eastern time. Arizona time out there is 11 a.m. for you guys out there?
11 a.m. Yes.
Robin, UK will be at 7 p.m.
7 o'clock.
So
7 p.m.
next week. Alan, you have some incredible stuff to talk about. I think we're going to end up having to have you on more than twice, to be honest, my friend.
Oh, really?
So, appreciate it, though, for coming on, my friend. And I just want to say thank you so much for sharing that little bit. Next week, we're going to even dive into it even more. So join us.
Okay. Could I give a shout out to Jerry?
Yes.
She is a great lady, and we love her dearly. Lori, my wife, and I, we love her dearly, and she is a good person. And thank you, Jerry, for watching.
Jerry, thank you so much for watching. Appreciate you so much.
Absolutely.
So, so everyone, next Thursday, 2 p.m. Eastern time, 7 p.m. UK, 11 a.m. Arizona time. Join us. Alan will be back on. We're going to pick 3 people to get a free reading and let us know what you guys think. So thank you guys so much. Alan, thank you so much. And we will talk next week.
Before we go, AJ,
you guys.
Yep.
You guys are great.
Yeah,
I love the program.
Thank you. Go ahead. Want to say, Robin?
I was just going to say, but before you go, I just want to let the viewers know as well that you may have seen that last weekend that we had Patty Negri on for the second time. We're working behind the scenes really hard to bring the best guests and the best content to you all, and to let everybody know. Most people in the UK who watch Most Haunted will know, and some in America as well. But there was a medium that was used a few years ago, a psychic artist medium called Brian Shepherd, and there's a medium that was used quite recently, a Scottish bloke called Chris Conway, and they have both agreed to come on as well. So, as well as getting teams and authors and empaths like yourself, Alan, and people like that, we're trying to mix it up a little bit and bring some people in who are well known, not because they're well known, but who are well known because of the experience that they have and the wisdom that they can share with us. So keep on watching this because it's only going to get bigger and bigger.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad to. I like it.
One thing I wanted to say to you, Alan, too, was what we were trying to do too is we're trying to get a ton of different mediums around together, and for one show, and maybe make something magical happen. So the point of what he's trying to say too, and I'll iterate further on it, is that we're trying to bring in a bunch of different mediums from around the world, put them together, see what magical stuff can happen. So we want to include you in that when we do end up having it somewhere down the road. So when that
Sounds
happens,
good.
know and let the viewers know. So Alan, thank you so much. And until next time, we
See
will
you
talk
guys.
to you. All right. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Alan.
Wow, man, such an awesome today, man. We could have dove so deep into that right now, and I'm like thinking to myself, like, well, I told him it was an hour, so let me not dive too much deep into it because I can question after question.
The problem is that when you said to me that last time there, actually you asked first, I'm thinking to myself, and I've got so many questions. What will I ask?
I just shut up and listen, man. I just shut up and listened the whole show because literally I was odd. You know what I mean? I couldn't. Because everything was matching up to my experience that I had when I had my near-death experience. So everything was just matching up in certain areas, and I'm like, oh man, I know he's not bullshitting right now because he's telling the truth. Because I experienced the same thing, and his wasn't even a near-death experience. Mine was. But not only that, it's just certain things he hit on. I was just in awe, and I just couldn't really ask too much question about. But
I just get the feeling that some of the stuff he was saying was, how can I put it? Some of the stuff, is obviously, this is absolutely no disrespect to Alan, because obviously, I believe 100% everything that he said, and very philosophical, should I say. But I believe that some of that was actually coming from spirit through him.
Oh, I do believe.
You know what I mean? I can't. There's a word for it, but I can't get it at the minute. But
a channeling.
Well, yeah, maybe so. Yeah, what he was saying, he meant to say, but it was like coming, like being sent. You know what I mean?
No, absolutely. I totally agree. I do believe definitely spirit is leading, Alan, for sure. And I'm super happy that everyone got to join us and watch. I just want to thank all of you guys for joining us and watching. Until next time, this is Talking with the Source. I'm host AJ Capasso from Coventry Circle Paranormal. I'm with my good friend
Robin from Halfern Paranormal. I'm Talking with the Source.
And until next time, thank you guys so much.